Ladies and gentlemen, what is wrong with my microphone? Hello and welcome back to the channel. I hope that you guys are having a fantastic day out there. Hope you're doing well and feeling good as we dive into a full album reaction today. We're going to dive into Phish with their album Rift, fourth studio album released in 1993. We've listened to a few Phish tracks here and there, a couple live tracks as well, and now it's time to do a full album reaction here. Excuse me. Kind of, I don't know, not kind of related to Phish, not really. I just drank some water and I'm choking on it. I'm slightly in recovery. We're listening to this album because this was suggested, this was supported and sponsored by Mike. Thank you so much, Mike, for the supports. Really appreciate the over-the-top support and the recommendation as well. Especially the last few tracks that we've listened to from Phish have been really, really fun. And I'm kind of looking forward to this one. The album cover looks kind of like Dream Theater-esque. If I had to put a something to it, just reminds me of Dream Theater. Who was the artist for Dream Theater's artwork? It was it Syme? Was his name Phil? Maybe not the first name, but Syme was his name. Had a lot of different references to songs and stuff like that in there. Anyways, this album had also been suggested, I see, by D. Knapp, Bob Huber, Cole F., Joseph Chisholm, 253 SP Kelly, J. Matthew Smith, JG Mafia, I thought it was JPEG Mafia, Sean Lilly, Dracus Records, Ethalium, Rosenfield, and the list goes on and on. Even going 6 years ago, Rosenfield had suggested this album as well. So I'm excited to dive into it because I love with Phish, and certain bands like Kate Bush also has like an entire website dedicated to the album. So, well, I don't know if there's going to be an info. Oh, yeah, there you go. So you can get the info that you need as we go. So we'll look into that as we listen to the album and such. But that is it. That is it. Hope you guys are doing well. Grab something to drink. Grab something to eat. Whatever you like to relax with, however you like to relax with, do it. That's my advice, is to do it. When was the last time you've gone fishing? Probably sooner than the last time I've gone fishing, which was when I was like a teenager, a kid maybe. Fishing wasn't my thing, personally. I did do it once at a lake with some friends. I fished. I got the fish. It came out the water, and I immediately lost the fish. And actually, that was the last time that I fished. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump into the track. Let's go ahead and jump into the album, starting with the first track. The plugs there, the Buy Me a Coffee and the Patreon. And if you don't mind liking the video, it helps a great deal. Let's get it out of there. You know what we're doing. Let's open up with the first track, the title track of the album, Rift. And I could do the, here's to you and the drink like I usually do. But let's go fishing. Starting off in a strong foot. It's kind of a folky kind of melody.
Last night,
that's a barbershop note.
My thoughts were adrift and coasting a terrace, approaching a rift through which I could spy several glimpses beneath. All the darkness, the light from above could not reach. I spied wings of reason, herself taking flight, and upon yonder precipice saw her alight, and glare back at me one last look of dismay, as if she were the last one she thought I'd betray.
Man, rhythm section, the drums.
So the better, I said to myself, and drawing quite close to the top of the shelf, I struggled with destiny up on the ledge, and gasped when defeated he slipped off the edge. And silence contagious in moments like these consumed me and strengthened my will to appease the passion that sparked me one terrible night, and shocked and persuaded my soul to ignite.
Now the bass is getting in too. opens up everything, especially beneath the solo. Walk that bass back. Walk the guitar down too. Nice way for the guitar to scream out of that. That drum beat is just rolling. Is relentless.
So
that note.
The better, I said to myself, and drawing quite close to the top of the shelf, I struggled with destiny up on the ledge, and gasped when defeated he slipped off the edge. And silence contagious in moments like these consume me and strengthen my will to appease the passion that sparked me one terrible night, and shocked and persuaded my soul to ignite, 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 and shocked and persuaded my soul to ignite.
Just as a small note, I love how they sped up there at the end, and the next track is called Fast Enough for You. Just blazing. Okay, incredible first track. there's no doubt about that. That's an incredible first track to open up the album with. Man, that has everything I like out of him. Trey sounds great. Guitar sounds wonderful. Let's talk about some of the features of this thing, though. The opening melodic harmony that they all get in on, it has such a barbershop quartet kind of sound to it. Ooh, and I love how that's just a strong and charming kind of way to open it up. And then after they have their belting of a harmony, then of course Trey gets on and continues on with the verse and everything there. The drumming from John Fishman. He's caught something with the drumming. Just a rolling, frolicking beat that is relentless. Just like it has a fast. Some of the notes in the beginning kind of sound folky as well, but with that beat, it has kind of like this barnyard burner, hoedown. What genre of music is that? That old country like Appalachian Mountains and you got the band that has like the jug, the boom 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 boom, and like it has that kind of quick energy to it. And I love how he plays the drums there with a lot of focus on the snare, the ghost notes, really capturing a lot of that energy and pushing that momentum forward as he rolls that alongside of the kneading of the kick drum. And it's really between the cymbals and the rides, of course. Tom's involved here and there, but that main groove is just snare city. And I think that is such a really cool, relentless groove to choose to push this track along. Now, Mike Gordon on the bass, at first in some of the song, in a decent like first half of it, he's quickly kind of holding the beats and the rhythm alongside of Fishman. But then there's that one moment there where he kind of spills a little bit of a solo in there, maybe an extended fill. You could go that direction, but it was just so cool. And then he gets right back to writing that particular fairy. That was awesome. Paige McConnell on the keyboards, the piano. I don't know Phish's history. I don't know Phish fans. I'm not, I'm not a part of the pond. If that's like what the fandom was called or anything like that. So I'm just speaking as an outsider, so to speak. But I know that Trey Anastasio is noted for his guitar playing. Paige McConnell, from all I've heard of Phish, and this track included, should absolutely be up there in name as well and in notoriety. His piano playing is absolutely stunningly gorgeous. When he comes in with the chords, at first, kind of showing you, okay, he's kind of just balancing with Trey. Nice, beautiful. But when he goes into his solo, it just has this richness that is really, really enjoyable. And him and Trey go back and forth and trading solos, just a small back and forth. And it's just really magical to hear them work together. This was a really phenomenal opening track to the album. Title track, they came in very strong. Here, they came in extremely strong with this track here. Last night, in the moments, my thoughts were adrift, and coasting its terrace approaching a rift, through which I could spy several glimpses beneath of the darkness the light from above could not reach. I spied wings of reason, herself taking flight, and upon yonder precipice saw her a light, and glared back at me one last look of dismay, as if she were the last one she thought I'd betray. And yet betray her in some capacity you did. That is the rift. So much the better, I said to myself, and drawing quite close to the top of the shelf, I struggled with destiny upon the ledge, like whether to jump or not, metaphorically, and gasped when defeated he slipped off the edge. And silence contagious in moments like these consumed me and strengthened my will to appease the passion that sparked me one terrible night and shocked and persuaded my soul to ignite. So this passion also ignited him to do something, to take action. So much the better, I said to myself, and drawing quite close to the top of the shelf, he repeats again, and shocked and persuaded my soul to ignite. So there is a rift between him and the wings of reason, who he personifies here as a woman, looking back and says that she's been betrayed. So he's betrayed reason, and now is taking a plunge into something perhaps a little bit more abstract. Let's look at the Phish.net on this one. Let's see. In fact, nearly 5 years elapsed between the time that Pieces of Riff first appeared and when the song was finished and finally unveiled in '92. Appeared 5 more times. So it's more talking mostly about some of the touring and when it debuted. It's one of their most complex short songs that they have. I mean, absolutely. As a humorous note, fans were angered when the arena PA system failed during Rift in '95 and were subsequently joyous when the sound returned. Of course you're joyous when the sound returns. Are you? Yeah, of course it would be if this one comes up. Oh, when did the PA go off? Ooh, was it during the solos? This site is really like in depth. When it debuted, when it was last played, current gap in that play. Historian. Last update. This is an in-depth site. Let's move on to the next track here, which is going to be fast enough for you. I like that echoey piano line. I like how it bubbles there in the front.
If time were only part of the equation,
There's those
you
bends.
could draw the boundaries of our cage. You wouldn't pile another stone upon me,
Nice little.
and I'd be happy just to watch you age.
Love the guitar and piano.
Everything is in its own dominion, and waiting in the shallows as I do appeases me as water slowly trickles out, which isn't nearly fast enough for you. It isn't nearly fast enough for you. It isn't nearly fast enough for you. It's what I was afraid of. I stumbled into view, but it isn't nearly fast enough for you.
That's a feel.
It isn't nearly fast enough for you.
And the lap steel guitar. Very catchy one. This could be like a radio hit for them. A single.
Isn't nearly fast enough for you. It's what I was afraid of. I stumble into view, but it isn't nearly fast enough for you.
Calm vocals.
It isn't nearly fast enough for you. It isn't nearly fast enough for you. It isn't nearly fast enough for you.
That ride.
Fast enough for you.
And it kind of calms.
Fast enough for you. 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 Fast enough for you.
Let's let the next track play. It's only a minute. And it clearly transitioned into it. He's sleeping at the wheel.
When you're there, I sleep lengthwise, and when you're gone, I sleep diagonal in my bed. When you're there, I sleep lengthwise, and when you're gone, I sleep diagonal in my bed. When you're there, I sleep lengthwise, and when you're gone, I sleep diagonal in my bed. When you're there, I sleep lengthwise, and when you're gone,
and you're gone. Okay, before Maze comes in, let's talk about Fast Enough for You. We're gonna look. That feels like a radio single. That feels like a lead single off the album. It is catchy. It is calm. It has a beautiful kind of near Pink Floyd-esque kind of atmosphere and ambience to it all. The way that Trey's guitar plays in this beautifully melodic way. You have that lap steel guitar in there, which adds almost folkiness to it, which I think it sounds really nice. Those bends, those echoey bow are just so peaceful and very tropical, visually inducing, and it makes you feel that way. And I love how they included that into this track. The piano between Trey, I'm sorry, the piano and the guitar between Trey and Page is absolutely wonderful. And in this track, like, it's a lot more restrained. The first track was just all out. Let's just put it out there. This track holds it back a little bit, pulls a little restraint on the boys, and they produce something like, what's the word? Mid-paced and charming and beautiful to listen to. Like I said, the depths of atmosphere in their melodies is really nicely captured there. And it has a nice little solo at the end. You know, it's just a nice, what's the word? A nice single-esque feeling, catchy piece of music. And then when it moves into the next track, Lengthwise, which is definitely creating a little bit of a transition between the songs here. I like how you can barely hear him in the beginning. You hear some, what I thought, and what I'm maybe still thinking is like a turn signal, but it could also just be a clock, as he seems to be lying in bed. I mean, kind of like the album cover. As a matter of fact, the next song is Maze. It's on the album cover. Actually, come up here with me as we explore this together. So first of all, this is a concept album. That would help to know that. Detailing the experience of a man dreaming about the rift in his relationship with his girlfriend. Okay, so now that we got that, let's go in the lyrics here. If time were only part of the equation, then you could draw the boundaries of our cage. That's a good line. I was thinking about it. You wouldn't pile another stone upon me, and I'd be happy just to watch you age. But everything is in its own dominion, and waiting in the shallows as I do, appeases me as water slowly trickles out, which isn't nearly fast enough for you. It isn't nearly fast enough for you. It's what I was afraid of. I stumble into view, but it isn't nearly fast enough for you. It's just not enough. It's not fast enough for you. What's not fast enough for you? This water slowly trickling out from the shallows. The waters were already shallow, and it's already being depleted, but still not fast enough, as he says, for her. I mean, there's definitely a rift that's growing in this one. There's 100% a rift on this one. And then in Lengthwise, I like the lyrics. I sleep diagonal in my bed. When you're there, I sleep lengthwise. When she's there, he's sleeping perfectly straight, obviously next to each other. And you could also say metaphorically and symbolically, sleeping lengthwise, the way you're supposed to sleep, like just normal. But when she's not there, he sleeps diagonal, not only taking her space, but obviously, in the album cover, he's even sleeping diagonal there. Please clap. I just saw that too. Okay, so they're working a lot of the lyrics kind of into the album cover itself too. And obviously sleeping diagonal, well, she's not there, so he can take as much room as he wants. But also, it doesn't allow for anyone to sleep there. It almost implies a restlessness as well. Let's move on to the next track here, which is going to be Maze. Let me back it up here to the end of Lengthwise, just so we can get that little bit of clicky transition, which does sound more of a clock now that I'm thinking about it. bass is starting. It's good. Oh, I love how the pieces are coming together.
The overhead view is of me in a maze, and you see what I'm hunting a few steps away.
It's almost like a church jam.
But I take a wrong turn and I'm on the wrong path, and the people all watching enjoy a good laugh.
Oh, that's good.
Embarrassed with failure, I try to reverse the course that my train had already traversed.
This is a cool track. So far, it's a great album. Are those little harmonics or not?
Subduing the trauma, engulfing my dream, invaded through what was an unguarded scene.
Oh, I always missed again. I always missed that.
The torrent of helplessness swept me away to the cavern of shame and the hall of dismay. Inside me a voice was repeating the phrase, "You've lost it, you'll never get out of this maze. 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 You'll never get out of this maze."
That is such a gospel break. The thump of the kick with the basses. Look it down. It's burning, man. It's burning. My head hurts now. I gotta stop. Nice fade in there. I like how the piano changed melody back there. I could do that, man. It's such a quiet. My stomach hurt. More organ chops? Vocals are all on top of each other there. Yeah, because that's the only way you could end that. Oh, that track made my stomach hurt. In a good way. Like when that what a church jam, gospel worship break inspired track that was. Organ is huge. Massive. With a big old Y in the front. Huge. That's big. And man, those chops with which he's playing it. Oh, that's really fantastic. Page shows off the organ massively and wonderfully. Like, not only is he a master of piano and you know the keys, but like the organ. And you have to have certain sensibilities. It's not just playing the notes; it's playing to the spirit of it. There's an ant on my desk. I'll let you. You can do your thing. But like he brings it in such a cool way. The once again relentless drumming from Fishman. Just a and right back to it. The beginning, I love it. The opening of the bass, or I'm sorry, well, yeah, the bass, but also the kick and how that just kind of starts off the pulse of everything. It's a powerful pulse, and you know that it's going to get stronger as things come in, and it does. Let me get past the clock. There's a little bit of keys there. That is just such a cool, thick, and quiet groove to start off the track before, you know, eventually like you hear the keys and the guitar and everything comes in. And man, when it gets to the verse and the organ starts to appear.
Embarrassed with failure, I try to reverse.
You hear how distant it is? Hear how distant the organ starts? It faded in a little bit there, but it starts off in the background. Before you know it, whoa. It's way up here, man. What an exciting track that is. And then the delivery, like the way he sings it has this very fast delivery. Like not auctioneer speed, but in spirit of an auctioneer, the way he just goes off there. And then the never get out of this maze, never get out of this maze. The way that at the end they start kind of singing that on top of each other, it makes it for a very psychological kind of thing. That was just very, very cool. I can't tell you, that organ, man. Like, the guitar solo is great, obviously, and everything, but this middle? That's that worship break in there. That is massive. The overhead view is of me in a maze, and you see what I'm hunting. A few steps away. But I take a wrong turn, and I'm on the wrong path, and all the people all watching enjoy a good laugh. You're just a rat in a maze. Besides all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage. Also leave some flowers for Algernon. Embarrassed with failure, I try to reverse the course that my tread has already traversed. Trying to work yourself backwards, but you're just going to make yourself more lost in this labyrinth. So during the trauma engulfing my dream, invaded through what was an unguarded seam. The torrent of helplessness swept me away to the cavern of shame and the hull of dismay. Inside me, a voice was repeating the phrase, you've lost it. You'll never get out of this maze. And boy, does that voice in your head just keep on going and going like the Energizer Bunny. Let us move on into the next track. This has been really fantastic so far. Sparkle. Like those vampires in the Twilight movies, so I've heard. Catchy riff.
The pressure builds, you buy a gift. You're hoping that your dread will lift. It glitters on her like a glass. You shut her eyes, it comes to pass. Apologize to Luce and Lil. Converse with Ed, a drive with Jill. Your friends can find you in their worlds. One by one, a string of pearls. Confused you say, this isn't me. You hover in their unity. Ashamed you slowly lose your grasp. Release the links, undo the clasp.
Take the necklace off.
The skin that drips down off the tree or peels back slowly from your knee erupts into your lung and heart. You laugh and laughing
Fall apart.
Laughing, laughing, fall apart. Laughing, laughing,
Now this
fall
has
apart.
a church
Laughing,
revival
laughing,
kind of
fall apart.
sound.
Laughing, laughing, fall apart. Laughing, laughing, fall apart. Laughing, laughing, fall
really
apart.
interesting.
Laughing, laughing, fall apart. 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 Laughing
They kind of separated vocally a little bit. Hey, that's that banjo. Okay, I don't know if it's just me. The previous track had a very big inspired like gospel kind of sound. This one sounds like a church revival kind of sound, like was like a tent revival kind of sound. Like it has that ba 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 ba. It has that hopping and I don't know Pentecostal kind of feel to it. I think that is so interesting. I don't know if I've noticed that before, but like how they take inspiration from different genres. The banjo playing. I don't know if he's actually playing banjo there because the strings didn't sound exactly banjo-esque. I don't see banjo listed in the instrument list, but it could be, could not have been, could have just been Trey playing guitar and playing it akin to a banjo. But regardless, it was such a cool inclusion in this track, and it made sense thematically with everything else that they had built in here. The rhythm, the melodies, and the vocals especially. Like, I like how they all use their voices to a certain strength and a certain degree. For example, in the beginning when we heard that barbershop quartet starting off, that chord from all of them. And then in this track, where, in the laughing, laughing, fall apart, laughing, you can hear one of them a little bit lower, laughing, laughing, fall apart. And then the rest of them kind of in the laughing, like it, fall apart. And then I can just imagine them wearing that white hat, the red and white pinstripe suits, and they're just a barbershop quartet, just gathering all four of them around the microphone there. Like, I just really like that energy that they bring and the different kinds of sounds they bring into their music, because it makes it for an interesting and varied listen. And they clearly excel in every single respect. Piano now, switching out the organ from previously to something, you get a little bit here, but like almost like a honky-tonk piano to an extent. Like I said, that banjo or the banjo S sound. It's just cool how they can really quickly kind of turn on a dime, so to speak, and head in these different directions. The pressure builds, you buy a gift, you're hoping that your dread will lift. It glitters on her like a glass, you shudder as it comes to pass. Apologize to Lucy and Lil, converse with Ed, or drive with Jill. Your friends confine you in their worlds, one by one a string of pearls. Confused you say this isn't me, you hover in their unity. Ashamed you slowly lose your grasp, release the links, undo the clasp. The skin that drips off down the tree and peels back slowly from your knee. Erupts into your lung and heart, you laugh and laughing. Fall apart. You're falling apart in your laughter. You're losing it. You're losing your grip. And this rift is not only becoming bigger, perhaps between you and your girlfriend, but you're coming apart yourself in your own rift as well. Also, I forgot to mention, because I didn't notice this before, but Fast Enough did have a Wikipedia article about it. Released as a third promotional single. That should have been the first. We'll see as we go in, but this felt like it. It says it features a pedal steel guitar performed by Gordon Stone. It says Tom Marshall, lyricist, supposes that we wouldn't burden each other as we do with weighty expectations and needs unmet, and things would be a whole lot happier. But that's not the way it is, and the lover to whom our narrator speaks is not content with the pace of the affair. He is thus a target for her scorn. Not quite fast enough. Peaked at number 50 on the Radio 1 Records album-oriented rock chart in '93. I gotta tell you, I really felt like that track is such single material, but not just single material. Obviously it was, but like top of the charts kind of material. But that's just me. Let's move on to the next track, which is Horn. Beep beep. Now we're getting to the rock and roll, huh? Led Zeppelin? It's that organ.
Now that you deceived me and played my name around and hung those nasty flyers on all the buildings in town, dribbled my possessions in a ring around the earth, and bought and sold my self-control for less than it was worth.
That's a good one.
Now I know the reason that I'm feeling so forlorn. I'll pick you up at 8 as usual. Listen for my horn.
Now the horn makes sense. That's good. So horn really hits that kind of 70s rock and roll sound. And when they all sing the car horn, like that part, man, they sound like another band that I can't think of off the top of my head who I'm thinking of, but they really sound like this other band. Like, I hope I think of it. Like 70s rock and roll band, they're just hitting a certain sound there. Once again, showing the diversity that they have in everything they do. The solo from Trey. And first of all, so that cool 70s sound, they rock it. The transition, as the music comes down extremely unexpectedly, like mid-verse, is so cool. Let me back it up here. It was around 1:15. And I like it because it's starting off the next verse, and then it just fades away. And then we get a little bit of, ambience before the solo begins. And it's an incredibly anthemic and emotional solo. I thought that fall away was kind of really cool. It's like the ground just dropped beneath us.
8 as usual, listen for my horn.
Like, instead of more lines, it just goes into his solo. And it's played with such beautiful sensitivity. I think that that's a highlight of all the solos and things that we've heard so far. I think that specific solo here is one of the highlights so far on the album, with just how beautifully emotional that was. And that fall away moment I thought was just really cool. And then the way that they maneuver already back to that 70s rock kind of sound is really cool as well. It was just a really phenomenal listen. It's such a short track. Which actually reminds me, in the first track, in Rift, within 2 minutes, they had already gone through so much musically. It leaves you wanting more and seeing what's in store. My R's and W's, excuse me. Rhine, wine, car, horn. Now that you've deceived me and played my name around and hung those nasty flyers in all the buildings in town, dribbled my possessions in a ring around the earth, and bought and sold my self-control for less than it was worth. Now I know the reason that I'm feeling so forlorn. I'll pick you up at 8 as usual. Listen for my horn. And his horn, the solo which comes in, is so like almost sad sounding. Perhaps there's a sadness in his horn, right? I'll pick you up as usual. It's just become the usual. It doesn't feel as romantic or special anymore. It's just the usual. Once you go somewhere and someone and the server asks you the usual and you say, yeah, it's not special anymore. It's just the place. It's just the thing. It's just normal. Rhine, wine, car, horn. Like this is perhaps the order that they'll have or something. Like it's just the normal. They've settled into something, but not necessarily a good thing. Let's hit the next track. It's going to be the Wedge. And I would say that there's definitely a wedge driven between them. A wedge, a rift, call it what you will. I love a fade in with a groove.
We're bobbing on the surface, and a shadow glides below. This issue feels my heartbeat. Oh, but how I'll never know. We're bobbing on the surface, and a shadow glides below. This issue feels my heartbeat. Oh, but how I'll never know that it's the ocean flowing in our veins. Oh, that it's the salt that's in our tears. Oh, 'cause we could have come so very far. Oh, in at least as many years. Take the highway through the great divide. Take the highway through the great divide. I'm building you a pyramid with limestone blocks so large. I dragged them from the mountaintop. You need a 2-car garage. I'm building you a pyramid with limestone blocks so large. I drag them from the mountaintop. You need a two-car garage, and it's the ocean flowing in our veins. Oh, 'cause it's the salt that's in our tears. Oh, 'cause we could have come so very far. Oh, in at least as many years. Take the highway through the Great Divide. Take the highway through the Great Divide.
That's cool. Looks like
'Cause it's the ocean flowing in our veins. Oh, 'cause it's the salt that's in our tears. Oh, 'cause we could have come so very far. Oh, in at least as many years. Take the highway through the Great Divide. 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 Take the highway through the Great.
Okay, it's transitioning. The Wedge is like a bubbly, kind of playfully rhythmic kind of track with a lot of focus on that. And the band, like especially Trey, like does a great job kind of hopping lyrically in his delivery on top of those specific bars, because it does have this kind of, I know I said bubbly, but it just kind of rises. Ba, 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 ba. Like, I don't know, there's a bubbly kind of rhythm with the way they play around here. It feels almost like they're hitting a slight tropical islandy kind of vibe, but they're kind of holding it back a little bit, and they're kind of playing Do Not Come At Me. Do Not Come At Me. They're playing a cooler version of Margaritaville in the sense of it still give me a little bit of a tropicalness, but like, you know, the way that they play their instruments are much more proficient, and it comes across like as a kind of a cool factor to it. Like, you could just sit at the beach listening to this track. You could just sit at the beach, a drink in hand, watching the waves, soak in the sun, and just kind of chill with it. You get your head nodding a little, you know, you get your foot tapping. But it's a very, very chill song, with a little playful solo in there. I like the little notes. I don't think I can find it so quick, but the way he ends the solo was really cool as well. As cool as this song is, just to keep honest, it's my least favorite on the album so far. I think that, I mean, you know, Lengthwise is a little, I don't really count that one. Out of all the songs, it's my least favorite. It doesn't hit as hard as every other track so far has, for me personally. We're bobbing on the surface and the shadow glides below. They say she feels my heartbeat, oh, but how I'll never know. Repeats there. That it's the ocean flowing in our veins, oh, that it's the salt that's in our tears. 'Cause we could have come so very far, oh, in at least so many years, or as many years. Take the highway through the Great Divide. I'm building you a pyramid. Yeah, the rift, right? I'm building you a pyramid with limestone blocks so large, I dragged them from the mountaintop. You'll need a 2-car garage. And then he repeats that again. Take the highway through the Great Divide. Like, we're just trying to bring this together and keep this together. Bridge this wedge between us. It says it was released as the 4th single from the band, from Elektra Records. Mid-tempo jazz fusion. They said with a catchy sing-song chorus, punctuated by the infectious beat and featuring some wonderful bass bombs, the Wedge was a longtime resident in the select group of songs. Always requested but rarely played. Following its debut, it roared out the gates, but was only on the shelf by the end of summer and was bypassed entirely in '94. And then its playing had been a little bit absent in times. Let's move on to the next track. My Friend, My Friend. Here we go. Really great playing there. It's a nice swing. I love that swing. It's so beautiful. It's harp playing. This guitar playing so cool, and listen to that switch. Okay.
My friend, he's got a knife. A statement from his former life when he was easy but alone. Beside him was an empty throne, but what of silver silken blade? Affix his gaze, his features stayed. Grasps the handle, clips the cable. One steps up, sits at his table. My friend, he's got a knife. My friend, he's got a wife. My friend, a clever ruse. Persuasion through his thoughts peruse. A hidden relic from his past that wasn't there when he looked last. He feels it ticking like a bomb, feeding fear, assaulting calm. Takes the object, starts the game, moves it closer to the flame. My friend, a clever ruse. My friend, he lights the fuse.
Back, man.
My friend, he's got a
the crowd vocals brought in.
My friend, he's got a knife. 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 My friend, he's got a knife.
I can almost bet you. I bet you that they brought in a bunch of fans to record the ending of My Friend. I bet you. And then at the end they just all go, oh, we're back on track now. Now we're back. My friend, my friend. The beginning is gorgeous. The way that the guitar plays, the way that Trey plays is so gentle and moving. It almost has a lullaby aspect to the way that it swings. It's gorgeous. Of course, completely different and contrasting, the later violence to take place. But it is just sleepy baby, sleepy time tea in your cup, kind of gentle. And I love the way he plays there. Then it begins to change. And when it changes into even more goodness. Like, okay, beautiful, right? A folky, almost pentangle kind of swing. Bop, bop, bop. Absolutely, right? Okay, then when the drums come in, that switch comes through, Fishman, he starts off with a groove, man. He starts with a groove that you could, a hip-hop artist could drop some bars on there. Listen to the little change, right? A little change in the notes there. I'm trying to get to that part. Bad. It was so nice to go. Okay, but you know what I mean? Like, it just has that kind of almost Dr. Dre kind of groove to it. Like, that is absolutely cool how they switched that up and brought that in. Absolutely fantastic. And then the song keeps on getting better. As the verse comes in, it keeps that groove, but there's those little chops to it. The organ.
My friend.
Right? And then the solo. I don't know how Trey does it, but it's like he just has pockets full of solos that he can just pull out on a whim and whip them out, and it's amazing. This is angsty. It's terrifying. The pitching up, like to almost cause alarm and distress, it's just brilliant. And Fishman's drumming during it is like absolutely hair-raising. That creates anxiety. And that is so perfectly fitting for what's happening lyrically. And it's just brilliant back and forth in every which way you look at this one. My friend, he's got a knife. A statement from his former life. When he was easy but alone, beside him was an empty throne. But what of silver silken blade? Affix his gaze, his features stayed. Grasp the handle, clips the cable. One steps up, sits at his table. My friend, he's got a knife. My friend, the clever ruse, persuasion through, his thoughts peruse, a hidden relic from his past that wasn't there when he looked last. He feels it ticking like a bomb, feeding fear, assaulting calm, takes the object, starts the game, moves it closer to the flame. He lights the fuse. Who's going to win this knife fight? This is a gamble with your life, and obviously by the cutoff at the end, that did not work out well. Very curious on this one, my friend. I bet you. It's one of the tunes in their repertoire that bridges the gap between compositional complexity and sing-along simplicity. The lyrics with their references to knives and bombs are among Tom Marshall's most unsettling, lacking the giddy smiles of some of their songs. Let's see. I want to know if they brought fans in. The distinct melody was written in a companion piece. Phish had only performed the completed song side by side once. When played as the show opener, the guitar tremolo gives the audience plenty of time to anticipate the musical chaos that's barreling their way. Featuring an introduction reminiscent of Jethro Tull, I said pentangle, close enough folk rock. Let's see. Trey's playing can be equally frantic. He used a microphone stand as a guitar slide. For folks who harbor fantasies about performing with Phish, this song provides a glimmer of hope. The chanting voices on the studio version are the voices of fans recruited with the help of a radio station near where Phish was recording. Can I get a please clap? along with so many other songs. This one debuted. He introduced it as The Knife, and not until the album was released did the official title come to life. That's a really great one. The heaviest one so far. It's so cool how it's the heaviest track so far, but it started off almost the gentlest. Almost, besides some previous tracks. Man. Way is the next one, and I ain't talking protein. It's a fun beginning. We're back to the fun.
Cut your head off so I can weigh it. What do you say?
Okay.
5 pounds, 6 pounds, 7 pounds.
Not looking at the lyrics to come up.
I'd like to go to your house and gather all your razors and pick off a little prickly hair so I can weigh them. What do you say? 5 pounds.
This sounds like
6 pounds.
Primus a little bit.
7 pounds. I'd like to gather all your friends and smush them into a small swimming pool so I can weigh them. What do you say? 5 pounds, 6 pounds, 7 pounds. Why weigh on a sunny day? So much to do, so why weigh on a sunny day?
Who's singing on this one? Like a little stop, stilted at the end. There's those bands. It's just so catchy.
I'd like to hear my options so I can weigh them. What do you say? 5 pounds, 6 pounds, 7 pounds. Why weigh
I like how it's why weigh, but the word should almost be why wait. I guess I probably should have let the instrumental cut. Let me let the next track, because it's instrumental and it's only 2 minutes long. Do that. Let me let that run into it. Let me let it run into that. All things reconsidered. It's very jazzy guitar line. It's kind of classical. That scale. I like how the piano and guitar both followed that. And there you go. Okay, so question. Well, I haven't answered. Way, the vocals are so like different. You're gonna have let's see, lead vocals on Way, Mike Gordon playing bass on here, and that song has a funny bone to it. Lyrically, a little darkly humorous, I would say. Whereas my friend had more of a violent upturn. This kind of turns it to something, I think, slightly humorous with a little dark humor in there. But I love the way that Gordon sings on this one. The song as a whole, I haven't listened to a lot from this band, so I could be wrong in my misrepresentation, but I think it kind of sounds like Primus a little bit. And his vocals are a big part of that. I think that his deeper, rich, crooning way of speaking in this track is really kind of funny. It's just funny. And it makes the lyrics, which I think are a little bit tongue-in-cheek, a little bit, funnier. I'd like to cut your head off so I could weigh it. What do you say? 5 pounds, 6 pounds, 7 pounds. I'd like to go to your house and gather all your razors and pick off all the little prickly hairs so I can weigh them. What do you say? 5 pounds, 6 pounds, 7 pounds? Interesting. Very interesting. Regardless of that, it's a cool track, though. And I really think that his personality, or what I think of his personality, comes through really funnily in the way that he sings in there. And the drums are really fantastic. Everything was fantastic. It was just that Gordon stood out to me most in this one. And then with All Things Reconsidered, honestly, felt like a quick in and out jam. The guitar was really nice. I like that one line when the guitar and piano hopped on top of each other really nicely and just kind of skipped down the river. Otherwise, kind of another, in my opinion, like a kind of instrumental interlude in a sense. I don't know how much to say on that one. But Way was funny. Let's look at the rest of the lyrics here while we're up. Why Way on a sunny day? So much to do, so why? Why Way? I'd like to hear my options so I can weigh them. What do you say? 5 pounds, 6 pounds, 7 pounds. Why Way? which I think it might be meaning why wait. Is there anything on this one? No. Let's look over here. Why wait? At first listen, it's a disturbing look inside the brain of an obsessive-compulsive stalker, an individual somewhat more twisted than the character portrayed in the police classic Every Breath You Take. Okay. Rather than simply following, watching, and pining for his beloved, well, they want some more out of that. Yeah, that we know. That we know. Mike wrote the tune while a student at a summer guitar workshop, where his teacher told him it wasn't a good melody because it had too many jumps. It is a little jumpy, but I think it makes it for a more poppier kind of listen. Now let's see. The only 1998 Way approached improvisational experimentation in a funky town breakdown. Oh my goodness. There it goes. Hold on. Way has returned each year since. Unbalanced. So it keeps on changing, huh? Let me read this. The scales were then put away for 200 shows, finally being pulled off the shelf in 2003 in Miami, perhaps to weigh the bouncing baby New Year following its emergence in the NICU. Interesting. Let's move on to the next track, which, like I said, we listened to All Things Reconsidered. So let's move on to Mound. Let me pull it back up here. Let me go to the end of Reconsidered. Here we go. That's kind of a... Oh, I went to the wrong place. I went to the wrong ending. This is where I meant to go. That's kind of like a circus kind of atmosphere. The playfulness here. There we go. Okay. Gotta catch the time signature. Kind of blues rocky bar stripper sound is this? It has like a country accent and tone to it, but at other times it doesn't. A reggae kind of music.
Walked miles from the little mound. Can he find some shelter? He doesn't know to behold what the cold frost can do. At the last hill he realized he had circled back around, round a back circle, round a back, realized time for the last rewind. For a broken old man in a world unkind. He buried all his memories of home.
love the slow roll of piano. Little hit on the right. What a cool track. This is a kaleidoscope of music.
Ice is all he was made of. The bitter blue had swollen through. He went over to the mound. Reclining down, his final thoughts were drifting to the time his life had shined. And it's time for the last rewind for a broken old man in a world unkind. He buried all his memories of home in an icy clump that lies beneath the ground. It's time for the last rewind for a broken old man in a world unkind. He buried all his memories of home in an icy clump that lies beneath the ground.
Mound, I'm saying it right now before we have a few songs left. It's the most interesting, progressive, artsy, hodgepodge, kaleidoscope track that's on the album so far. But man, does it hit all those points in a nice way. It doesn't sound forced. It sounds like they're just naturally moving from one hit to the other. On one side, it has kind of a country song, like an older country song kind of feel. And then almost immediately on a halt, it shifts into almost a reggae-esque beat and groove. And then they jump off of that and go into so many other directions later on in the break with the solos and everything. And even Gordon has a bass solo in here riding upon Trey's guitar, which sounds really cool how he does it. It just fits into the theme really well. This track, it uncovers a lot. You need a shovel for this one. You could skip almost around every 30 seconds, maybe even less, and come out in a completely different genre and sound. Like the intro, right? Sorry, it's making me think of like music I would associate with like a stripper, or like it has that blues, that bar blues rock kind of sound, right? It just moves like that. Especially with the guitar, that's what I meant. Like, that's blues. And then the switch ups on the time signature. It's kind of like, I'm going to pull it up here for you really quick in case you've never seen it. It's kind of like Nate Smith. I'm sure you guys have probably seen the videos. I think it's probably his most famous video. Nate Smith is one of my favorite drummers, period. He gives a counting lesson. He plays in different time signatures, and he... I don't know the copyright on this, but we'll just play a little bit. Right?
Wait a second.
But watch.
Here we go.
Watch. Right? He's like, just stick with it. Right? Hey. It's such a cool clip. It's such a great clip, man. Here you go. He's gonna switch it up on everybody. He's starting little by little. You know people are watching the other musicians' hands. That's how they're catching it. He's catching, he's working on him. I'm sorry, I know we're watching like the whole thing. Oh, there you go, lost it. He just messes with him. I'm sorry, I'm like way in the weeds just watching this clip that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Either way, the point I was getting to is in the song, I love how Fishman does that and works that time signature in there in the very beginning. Okay, back to Mound.
Look who raises his shoe.
This is reggae inspired.
This mound right over the world in another.
That is so police. Someone needs to get arrested.
Please clap.
And then we're back to the church revival. And then...
Oh, I heard he was.
Where's my country section? Not that. Where's my country section?
Go down round the snow.
Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, moving on into the track. Then it moves into this section here. And I love how the bass gets in, right? Like I said, Gordon goes from here. And it coolly calms things down, but still drives it, especially with the drums very dynamic in the back. And then this organ keys are just so cool behind there.
All he was made of.
And that's very
The bitter blue.
that's very progressive, the way that they play there. Anyways, the point I was getting to with all this, Mound is the most progressive track on the album so far, and it hits so many different facets and all of them shining like a diamond. The old man knows very well going down around the snowbank there's a mound that an old man knows good. Look who raises his shoe all over this mound, right over the world in another rewind. And it's time for the last rewind for a broken old man in a world unkind. He buried all his memories of home in an icy clump that lies beneath the ground. No one knows how far he traveled. Oh, I heard he walked miles from the little mound. Can he find some shelter? He doesn't know how to behold what the cold frost can do. At the last hill he realized he'd circle back around. Round a back circle, round a back realize. Got halfway through and said, maybe I should go back. Ice is all he was made of, the bitter blue and swollen through. He went over to the mound, reclining down his final thoughts were drifting to the time his life had shined. And it repeats those lines again. Now, how is this relating into the concept of the album? Is this old man still our protagonist, or is it symbolic of someone else who, went back to bridge their own personal rift, and so our protagonist has to do the same? Technically, and he has to realize that he has to go back. I don't know, but the next track is called It's Ice. That's a good guitar line.
bask. I'm tied to him or him to me, depending who you ask. Nonetheless, reluctantly, reflections tumble in. I slide with all the others on the wrong side of the skin. He's falling on the ice and cracks. Will he plunge in and join me here? Meets my eyes to my surprise. He laughs in full light of my frown. My double wants to pull me down.
Walk that bass down. Nice volume control.
Slipping on the friction slide, my skin feels to the bone. The flesh I leave behind is something that is not my own. I beg my mirror image for a moment with my soul. He's pleading back time to attack. It's me who's in control. Every move I make, he's got a hand up just in time. He's throwing several punches and he's blocking those divine. Defeated now, I sulk and squirm in mud with frozen mice, waiting, calculating till next he ventures on the ice. He's falling on the ice and cracks.
I love when the bass comes in.
And join me here. Meets my eyes to my surprise. He laughs in full light of my frown. My double wants to pull me down.
It's a nice tone for Trey. Not to be punny, but it's a cool solo. The clicking of the clock from earlier. darkness here. Right back. I like that part a lot. Okay, so it gets okay. I see it's going back to Lengthwise. It's Ice is the longest track on the album, right? Yeah, it's the longest track on the album by 1 second. The middle section is brilliantly epic. The solos, the guitar and the piano are kind of like almost at their most subtle. Has a very cool sound. There's a clear jazziness in the way that they're playing too in the chords. And I love how they play around that as well. You heard it in the ending, but also obviously in the beginning of the track, the ba, 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 ba. Like you hear that throughout the track here. And I love how the organ is present there as well. I think that sounds really good. To me, the middle is the best part of this track. You know, it's the longest one on the album, but it also kind of goes to my least favorites. I think it's an okay one, but I feel like it kind of outstays its welcome a little bit. There's nothing inherently bad about it. I don't think there's anything offensive or anything I dislike about it. It just doesn't do anything for me. You know, length doesn't always make for quantity or quality rather. And I feel like this is a really good song, but it just doesn't hit as much as most of the other tracks have. But the middle section, as they groove and jam down here, this is where this is the meat to me. The verse, I'm like, you know, fine. But I like this a lot when they just go off in this direction. And there's something very ominous and kind of dramatically tense as they build around that jam, which I think it works really well. The bringing back of the clock as well, as they subtly bring in that dark piano, is really beautiful as well. Like, this whole section was great. I love that. But the verse, it stands at odds, I would say, with the music around it. I don't care for the singing and the verse in general around it. Instrumentally, great.
Are they worms or are they...
Don't care for the singing. Love everything else around it, though. We could dig with that. I press on the elastic sheets. I'm breathing through a slice. Are they worms or are they serpents? Bubbles through the ice. The source was quite invisible, the ever-present voice. While skating both legs tracing different shapes, I made my choice. I'm mimicking the image in whose radiance I bask. I'm tied to him or him to me, depending on who you ask. Nonetheless, reluctantly, reflections tumble in. I slide with all the others on the wrong side of the skin. Like the wrong side of the ice, almost. He's fallen on the ice, it cracks. Will he plunge and join me here? He meets my eyes to my surprise. He laughs in full light of my frown. My double wants to pull me down. like his reflection, will he go through this ice, so to speak. Slipping on the friction slide, my skin peels to the bone. The flesh I leave behind is something that is not my own. I beg my mirror image for a moment with my soul. He's leaning back, time to attack. It's me who's in control. We're getting kind of schizophrenic here. In every move I make, he's got a hand up just in time. He's throwing several punches and he's blocking most of mine. Defeated now, I sulk and squirm in mud and with frozen mice, waiting, calculating till he ventures on the ice. Then he can break through and take over his body again? Doesn't quite say. But I think that he does break through. Let me look into this one a little bit. Originally a poem by Tom Marshall offering a blow-by-blow description of a battle between a guy skating on a frozen pond and his reflected image in the ice beneath. The lyrics are filled with vivid imagery, multiple plays on the confusion between reality and reflection, and represent some of Tom's finest work. Trey was so impressed that he didn't want to risk writing music that didn't do them justice. We likely all agree that Trey did a fine job in writing one of Phish's more complicated songs. I think instrumentally it's really good. Let's move on to the next track. Lengthwise Encore, Into the Horse, which I'll probably just lead into the final track, Silent in the Morning, because the next two tracks will only barely make 2 minutes. So let's just let them ride at this point, I guess, if you don't mind.
I sleep lengthwise, and when you're gone, I sleep
it's that barbershop
diagonal
quartet.
in my bed. When you're there, I sleep lengthwise, and when you're gone, I sleep diagonal.
Connecting that story back again. Love how it's strengthened into those chords and strumming.
It's time I sling the baskets off this silver burdened horse.
Okay, we're going very Western.
Sink my toes into the ground and set a different course. 'Cause if I were here and you were there, I'd meet you in between. And not until my dying day confess what I have seen.
Under the Ice. I really like the Western style guitar there.
My glance is always darting when I stroll the avenue, avoiding all the obstacles that terrorize my view. And if you are there with me, I trust you to lead the way. But when you're not, I follow you and always go astray.
It's a good line.
You're silent in the morning, suspended in the trees. When lunchtime comes, you found your voice. It brings me to my knees. The volume just increases. The resounding echoes grow. Till once again I bask in morning
Really great
stillness.
bass.
I love so.
Really great bass.
The target that I shoot for seems to move with every breath. I tighten all my arteries and make one last request. Divine creation hears me, and he squashes me with fear. I think that this exact thing happened to me just last year. You're silent in the morning, you found your voice, it brings me to. You're silent in the morning, you found your voice, it brings me to. You're silent in the morning, you found your voice, it brings me to. You're silent in the morning, you found your voice, it brings me to my knees. You're silent in the morning,
Big celebratory.
found your voice, it brings me to. You're silent in the morning, you found your voice, it brings me to. You're silent in the morning, you found your voice, it brings me to. You're silent in the morning, you found your voice, it brings me to my knees. I could not dismiss you, shelter you, speak with you, smile at you, trust in me, not to brush you off, and I agree. Could not dismiss you, shelter you, speak with you, smile at you, trusting me, not to brush you off, and I agree. I could not dismiss you, shelter you,
Slow hi-hat back there.
smile at you, trusting me, not to brush you off, and I agree. Could not dismiss you, shelter you, speak with you,
Like how specific
smile
this
at you, trusting me, not to brush you off, and I agree. I could not dismiss you, shelter you, speak with you, smile at you, trusting me, not to brush you off, and I agree. Could not dismiss you, shelter you, speak with you, smile at you, trusting me, not to brush you off, and I agree.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Full album reaction, Phish with Rift. We have crossed the bridge, binded the two canyons together, bringing it together again. I don't know what I'm saying. This is a perfect ending to the album. It hits all the right notes. It satisfyingly wraps things up. Got to figure out what's happening story-wise, but musically, it really nicely wraps everything up. And I like how they all kind of layer on each other gently to a head and to a climax there at the end. The bass playing from Gordon is incredibly exceptional there from the very beginning. From here. I know like Trey's playing with them, but the bass from that section, even like thoroughly into the song, is just really impressive. And that's just such a straight groove of a bass line. Just nice and bubbly, pushing everything along. The catchiness of the final chants and the final mantra, you're silent in the morning, you found your voice, it brings me to my knees. You know, it's a nice way of wrapping things up. The last line, there may be something off, I don't know, but you know, maybe the rift is going to return and the rift will reopen, so to speak. But I like how, once again, this track is more of a restrained effort from the band. Not so much focused on technical proficiency and solos, but more just putting down a satisfying conclusion to the album. And I think they do a great job, you know, as everyone kind of lines up for basically a final bow here on the album. Not a final bow bun, a final bow. My glance is always darting when I stroll the avenue, avoiding all the obstacles that terrorize my view. And if you are there with me, I trust you to lead the way. But when you're not, I follow you and always go astray. You're silent in the morning, suspended in the trees. When lunchtime comes, you found your voice. It brings me to my knees. The volume just increases, the resounding echoes grow, till once again I bask in morning stillness. I love so. The target that I shoot for always seems to move with every breath. I tighten all my arteries and make one last request. Divine creation hears me and he squashes me with fear. I think that this exact thing happened to me just last year. And then, which that's an important line, it's happened before. I will not dismiss you, shelter you, speak with you. Smile at you, trust in me. He'd like to brush you off, and I'd agree. This seems to be something of a cyclical nature. It's happened previously. He feels something like this happened previously, a little deja vu in the relationship. It seems like this rift is constantly expanding, closing back, expanding, closing back. The relationship seems to be a little bit of a back and forth effort on here. Let's look at some of the last bit of information here on the album. Let's see. It was certified gold in 1997. All songs were written by Trey and Tom Marshall, except for Mound and Way. The instrumental All Things Reconsidered is an intentional variation on the theme to the national NPR's All Things Considered. What is the theme to NPR then? Or to All Things Considered? Because I should definitely know that. Let me see. So I can see. I didn't catch that. All Things Considered theme. Because I didn't recognize it in the music. I'm pulling the other. Okay, I remember that. I remember that. The ba 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 ba. I'd have to listen to it again. To catch that. All right, so I missed that. Let's see. It has been featured on the show itself several times. That's cool. An orchestral version of the song appears on his solo album, 6 de Mayo. 6th of May. That's funny. Instead of Cinco de Mayo. Gordon stated that Rift was more integrated as the different styles of the band were mixed together within each song, rather than in between each song like on their previous album, A Picture of Nectar. Gordon also stated that he thought the album was a little bit mellower and the songwriting showed maturity. More maturity, rather. Yeah, I would say so. Especially Mound was, to me, the absolute thesis and pinnacle of that particular thought there. Cover art created by New York-based painter David Welker, who worked closely with the band during Winter '93. Okay, maybe was it Hugh Syme? I'm thinking of that did artwork for Dream Theater. In order to visually depict each of the album's tracks in a single image, with the notable exception of the horse. For this reason, a horse intentionally appears on the cover of Phish's next album. I would need a bigger screenshot than that. That's not doing it whatsoever. Images. Can I get the album cover? I'm trying to do it so we can pull it up here. It's close enough, I suppose. Okay, we got the Mound. I gotcha. Should pull up the track listing next to it so we can see together. Track listing. And no, I'm not going to sit here and do every single one. Obviously, Maze, we mentioned that. Him Sleeping Diagonal could be the Lengthwise, obviously. All Things Reconsidered, I don't think that's going to have. Ice, There was no horse. Where's ice? Is that, how are you getting that reflection there? There's like a melting kind of thing happening. Anyways, they're all in there. We're not playing Where's Waldo. Doing that. Any other information on the album? I guess I should have kept that up here, huh? AOS your promoter riff with a videotape sent to college radio stations and record stores that featured a 6-minute promotional film about the album. Back when people had time and probably would actually watch the film, not just looking at streams and moving on. Any chart information or anything? Singles, which we mentioned already. Nothing that I see here, at least initially, besides what we mentioned about it certifying gold there. Anyways, I think that this was a really fun album to listen to. Man, especially the way they began, just hot off the rip. Favorite tracks, Rift, My Friend, My Friend. Mound was fun. I'll give you that. Got to listen to Maze again. I got to listen to that one again. Definitely Rift and My Friend, My Friend. I got to give another listen to Maze. Horn had one of the best solos in here. Oh, yeah. I'm feeling good about that one. I'm feeling good about that one. I'm feeling good about that one. Are you feeling good about that one? Let me know how good you're feeling in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the album listen, the reaction alongside with me. How long have we been recording? Just a little bit over 2 hours. All those snacks that you had in the beginning, gone. More than likely. Mike, thank you once again for the supports and the suggestion. I had a great time with the album. Hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Swing on back by tomorrow. And I'll see you all then. Bye, guys.